Hey, and welcome to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today is in fact not a re-review. It is in fact the first ever proper review since the re-review started back on the 12th of January. It's my first new loco since December, and as you can see, it's a Hornby. It's a Hornby locomotive, and it's a class 56 in coal sector delivery, and its name is West Burton Power Station. Now, you may notice something on the box which is an error. Steam locomotive, really? So it says steam locomotive there, but here it says diesel electric. You know, Hornby, come on. Oh, well, it's not a big issue, it's just a bit strange. If we turn to the side, its product code is R2647 BR Coco Diesel Electric Class 56 locomotive, number 56128, and it says DCC ready, but it has already been fitted with a decoder, and it's already out of the box, and I fitted some details to it as well, and I've run it in. On the back you get tons of information on the class, so where they were built in 1976 to cope with the increased requirement for heavy freight, and the first 30 were built in were built in Romania by Electroputer, but they suffered from transit damage. So when they were being when they were in transit all the way from Romania, which is in Eastern Europe, right next to Hungary, they obviously suffered a bit of damage during the delivery. So then the rest of the 55, the total of 135 were built, and the remaining 55 were built at Crewe and Doncaster Works by Brell, and they were designed with a modified Class 47 body shell and with a Ruston-Paxman power unit. Ruston-Paxman motors, and they were nicknamed grids because the horn grill, the horn cover here looks like a grid. And they replaced the Class 20s and the Class 47s. And they were used for iron ore transportation in South Wales, and coal and aggregate and steel in the southeast. And the first livery was the BR blue, followed by the BR large logo. And then since then, there's been many different liveries: Dutch, train load coal, metals, load haul, Transrail, and the EW and S, and then the EWS. And they were replaced by some of them were replaced by the Class 60s, but the Class 66s were the ones which marked the final nail in the coffin, and the fleet and the Class 56s were taken out of service in 2004. Some of them remain. Most of them remain in depots across the UK, but some are being used in France. But some are still in service with Fast Line. And the last paragraph there talks about this particular loco, 56128 West Burton Power Station. It was named West Burton Power Station between 1993 and 1995, and it was taken out of withdrawn from service in 1999. See, loads of information. That's really good by Hornby. That's a very good addition by Hornby. But anyway, enough of the box. And it's just a standard Hornby box. There's nothing much to see. The locomotive is here. What a brilliant locomotive this is. So first, detail. Now just look at that. Wow. So now, as you can see, I've added some detail to this already. But wow, just look at it. Sprung buffers. Wow. So even before I added the accessories, the front was still really nice, and it is still really nice. You get this pipe which when it's double heading, they connect it to other locos to make sure that the whole train can be controlled from just one cab. So yeah, and the lights do work. The white lights up, so you get these two, and then that light, which all glow white when the train's coming towards you. When it's going away from you, these two lights glow red. At the other end, however, the lights have stopped working. That's because one of the contacts snapped. Because the problem with these contacts on the earlier Class 56 models is that the earlier revamped version of the Class 56 models is that like the contacts for the lights are really difficult. Hornby have fixed them, but this is from about 2009. So it is a pain to make sure they get lined up perfectly. So the lights have stopped working at this end, but you know, if it's going to be pulling wagons, then it makes it look more realistic, because in real life the lights are not on. Tail lights are not on when it's pulling wagons or coaches. But the lights still work, which is good. But you know, the locomotive as a whole is really good. You even get the little aerial there, and the wipers on the windows. 128, as it's number 128 of the Class 56 series. There's the cab. Wow, just look at that. I mean, you can see the seats, and you can see a bit of the controls as well. And yes, look at that. Oh, bad focus there. There we go. See the doors open. You can see. And they open everywhere. All four doors open. There. There. And of course, there. Wow, that's just amazing. And you get these sand pipes here, which apply sand onto the rails for the wheels to grip them. Get these grills, which are really nice. Look at that. That is really nice. And the fans, which do spin. They do spin. I'm not going to be removing the rubber band, as Everard Junction said, how they put strain on the motors, but they didn't. But it doesn't seem to put strain on these motors. Reason why I removed them from my Class 50 is because the fans kept jamming up, whereas here they're perfectly fine for now. If they jam up multiple times, then I will remove it. But you know, so far so good. And there's the name, West Burton Power Station, and there's the coal sector logo, and there's the double arrow logo for BR, British Rail, and 56128. And there's a logo for Power Station. The roof is very nice. You get the exhaust pipes there where all the clag comes out, and the bogies are lovely. Just look at that. Absolutely stunning. And you even get sort of the brake blocks. You can see the brake blocks there, which are really good. See all this equipment underneath, so something like sort of like compressors and things like that, basically, which is really nice. And that is very delicate, so do not hold it there. It's really hard to hold this model because there's just so much detail on it. But very nice handrails, and the other end is just as nice as this end. Wow. As I mentioned, the lights do not work here because the contacts snapped while I was sorting it out. The contacts on the earlier Class 56 models are a pain, as I mentioned. Thankfully, Hornby have fixed it, and I am planning on getting a newer Class 56. Wow. That is just amazing. This model is just absolutely amazing. It's got all-wheel drive, which is good. It's got all-wheel drive, which is good, and that's achieved by a centrally mounted motor driving two shafts, and they turn the wheels basically. Wow. And it is very heavy, very heavy. really heavy. No, so you're not going to have any problem with traction at all. Wow, but all in all, this is just a brilliant model. Absolutely fantastic. But let's put it on the track and see how she runs. Here we have the Hornby BR Coal Sector Class 56 West Burton Power Station on the track. Now, you can see her lights, but I checked and the tail lights are not working at this end either, which is a bit of a shame. But it's those stupid contacts. God, they're quite a pain. They're quite a pain. But it doesn't really matter because I am mainly going to be running the train in this direction. So it doesn't matter that much. But anyway, let's give her some juice and off she goes. Wow. Just look how smoothly she runs. Wow. And if and you can see the fans are spinning. And if I just slow her down a touch, you'll be able to see the fans spin. Yep, there we go. See the fans spinning. Wow. That's just amazing. Speed her up again. Wow. She's running beautifully. Let's get a few line-side shots. So yeah, very nice. So she may not have lights. Well, she may not have tail lights, but you know, she is a brilliant locomotive all in all. If it weren't for those contacts, the lights would be working perfectly. But the headlights are good. That's all that matters. Wow, I love her to bits. Here she comes round the bend. In conclusion, I highly recommend her. Whether it's Class 56 in EWS livery or any livery basically, I recommend it. Highly recommend it. It's just a brilliant runner. I love it to bits. So anyway, thanks for watching and see you in the next review. Well, this was a review, but see you in the next review.